dermatologist was raving about pure retinol. It's amazing.
New from L'Oreal.
Good morning. So, it's about time, right? Yeah. Believe me, I was trying to do it earlier, but I had stuff going on in this house. So, okay. We got to get into this quickly, though, because I have to pick up my daughter from the airport. I have to leave here by 12:45. Yeah, I got to make more coffee, too. Oh, were you, Aussie? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I just did all my chores. I did all my chores this morning. But, Duty Ron. So we know that he's a retired police officer, right? And his friend is a retired FBI polygraph expert. Okay. So the special guest that Duty Ron had on last night is Michael De La Pena, retired FBI agent, certified polygraph examiner, 29 years of experience as a special agent for the FBI. He has 16 years experience working as a polygraph examiner in the Boston FBI office. Okay. Michael's also an author of 3 books. Um, da, 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 da. Tonight, we ask retired Special Agent De La Pena some tough questions about this case and many others about how important the polygraph exam is in this type of case. So, so I watched it. It was really, really interesting. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, it was so good. So I figured, I wanted to yeah, I wanted to go over it. I mean, I can't play his whole stream, but I very much wanted to go over what was said because you listen to it once and you think that you've heard everything and you really haven't heard everything. The other part of this is there's a full video that Summer's parents did, right? And they chopped and screwed it and put it out on the internet in tiny pieces with 84 ads on it. But there's a whole full video, right? Parts that I hadn't seen yet. Plenty of parts. I was like, what? What? Like they did. And here's my conspiracy theory. Don't come for me. I think they did that to cause more drama. Okay? So they cut out some very critical, key, interesting pieces. And I think they did it on purpose to cause more turmoil, to cause more of an uproar, right? I don't like that. So we're going to forward and we're going to listen. Yeah, I have to listen so many times too. Yeah, Robert's girl, I'm like, what? So if you've already seen it, you might not be interested, but I'm very interested in what he had to say and parts of this interview that I've never even heard from Candace's parents.
We're going to put it full screen and let's let it play out.
A piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers, and I said okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch.
Exactly,
and
Trixie.
I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV, and I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back.
A TV station, Lippy.
And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up.
Oh, yeah, Tanika was.
I don't know. It seems kind of elusive.
it's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until.
So for me, I just read this comment. Jessica says she's high or drunk, rolling her eyes, talking about their missing baby. They're both sick human beings, period. Over here, here's how I typically do stuff. I'm not going to judge these people. I'm not going to claim that they are on medication or drugs. She could have a learning disability. She could be impaired in some way. She could have a prescription that we know nothing of. You know, the FBI agent gets into that. He talks about that. So
Just recently.
there are plenty of channels who want to tear them
But I wish
apart,
they would
and you
come
can do that.
forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen.
Hey, Josie.
She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head
She tried
in
to
the
shave her head
back and make
herself.
it, I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it go back long.
Exactly,
She
Austin.
shaved her head to so she wouldn't feel bad.
Thanks, Blackheart.
And but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. You know, I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, you know, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, you know, and I feel for them.
So we will stop the stream as we're going because there's questions that probably should be addressed, right? Summer, back in March, allegedly tried to cut her hair in the back. I put it on my community post. She has long hair in the front, shaved off in the back, like buzz cut up in the back, right? The mother's hair, I have pictures where the mother's hair was long. In very happy pictures. Summer is clean. She has little barrettes in her hair. The mother's clean. She's wearing a bathing suit. She has long hair down to here. They're both smiling. This is not a case where every single picture of Summer, she looked bruised, battered, beaten, starved, disgusting. No. There are at least 50 photos of her happy, smiling, playing, on vacations, at picnics, at cookouts, at church, at Christmas pageants, at pumpkin patches. Go look for them. They're there. They exist. There was part of their life that was very good. So the mother says she shaves her head. She doesn't shave it. She cuts it very, very short. We can see here that her hair is short. Back in March, Summer's hair is very short in the back. The boys' hair is also very short, all of the boys, and it's long in front. The dad alleges that Summer tried to, you know, shave up her own hair in the back. How many of your kids have cut their bangs? My sister once cut her bangs like that, and they had to cut it to here. She looked like a lunatic, but we've all tried to cut our hair. All of it. Don't give a kid scissors. Like, you're cutting that shit off, right? She says Summer doesn't like her hair being brushed. Maybe she doesn't. She runs around in the dirt. My son despises his hair being brushed. I can be so gentle. He's like, ow, what are you doing? Ow. But I love his curls, so he's keeping it. Anyway.
I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, you know, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house,
Silas.
you know. And
if I could shave my head today, I would.
Whatever. But I wish there was a way. Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, you know, out of love, trying to get information and trying to get her found. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
It means a lot.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's an awesome young lady, and we just want her back.
So it's not opposite stories, right? Because they had cut it short and left a little in the front looking cute, right? So it was like a little hairdo. She tried to cut her own hair after, and they shaved it off That's what they're saying. They ended up shaving Summer's head. She didn't want her head shaved. She wanted her hair short like the boys. So they made it short in the back and left it long in the front. If you look back over the years, Summers always had regular hair. She They cut it in the back because she wanted it shorter and she doesn't like her hair brushed. Okay? They left it looking kind of cute. Summer somehow decided to cut her own hair. They ended up shaving it off, and the mother shaved her head as well to make Summer feel better. The mother keeps her hair short anyway now because it's hot. She's a tomboy. She doesn't want all that hair. I feel you. I don't either, which is why I spend all kinds of money on my hair and then put it like this. So it wasn't shaved initially. It was just buzz cut up with some long, pretty bangs. It looked very cute. She decided she was going to shave her own head. That did not work out well, so they had to shave her head off. Like, they shaved the hair off because it looked crazy. Then the mother shaved her own head.
But, yeah, there's always going to be haters, and it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and
Hey,
praying
Ty,
for
honey.
us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with.
Jen,
So
I
we
don't know how they
anything
changed the
about,
story,
no
though.
red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because we just try to be around good people. I mean,
P.S. I
we
know
do
two
have
of
good
my
people
neighbors.
in this area. We found
That's
out
it.
since this has all happened.
And I've been here 2 years.
We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
The most important thing is to bring
Morning,
Summer
Susan.
home safe.
I
I'm
agree,
sorry
Kiki.
that you feel this way about us, but we love our children with everything we have. We've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided
Hey,
for
crime
us
story.
and has worked as much as he could and can and still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around, ever.
she loves to dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl," and she would just like to twirl and twirl.
They
and
talk
twirl
about
till my
everything in the
arm got
past tense, guys.
tired.
Everything. Literally.
And I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well, I'm sorry about that. It's just,
She also liked the song by New Breed. It was called House, My House. She sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV. She loved to dance.
she liked to think of herself as a princess, and and all that, like all young girls do. And
She loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa and
I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there. And I think you can't explain what that love is, but you feel it and you know it, when you're young. And she felt that there, and she loved everybody in that church. Or she loves everybody in that church. I should rephrase that because they'll tear that apart as past tense, and I apologize again for that.
See what people are doing to these people?
Starts with good sleep
It's not
and a
okay.
ring.
He's got to
Aura is the
correct
most
his
accurate and personalized
normal
health
way of
technology.
speaking
I
because
hope she
we're
gets to come
crazy.
home, and I hope she gets to be with her church family again.
our best friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
Yeah, she looked up to
When
women that were
she come to that church,
Yeah,
she
Steffi, it
went
is.
for Robin. That was her favorite person.
any woman that
Thanks, finest, honey.
was professional,
Was
that
pretty,
yeah,
beautiful.
she looked up to those kind of women. She, they were the word I'm looking for, I can't think of it, but she looked up to them. She'd give them a run for their money every day. She'd give them a run for their money. And there was times, you know, we'd be, you know, at our boys like, don't do this and don't do that. And next thing you know, a stick would come up and would just whop them, you know. And like, Summer, don't do that.
Summer was the boss of the family.
She's
She,
typical girl.
when they get out of line, she put them in line.
She'd do her best.
Hey, Riley, honey.
She loved to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
When I run the lawnmower around, she would run behind me. When the boys run their bikes around, she, as fast as that little bike could go, she would be behind them running and keeping up with them, no problem. You know, she loved to run. She just loved to run, and she could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her two hands, and she can do that. None of the other boys can do that, but she can.
Was she in school yet?
No,
No.
she's going this year.
This was supposed to be her first year.
She's been, we did all the, what?
I took care of everything.
Yeah.
I had her already taken all of her shots and registered in the school ready for this year.
I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she holds my heart in her little hands. And I love her with all my heart.
Silas, it's crazy that they didn't play this in entirety.
If there's any way you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her and, you know, and us.
I agree, Austin.
She's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please let her come home.
Hey, Mr. Positive.
My biggest fear is, you know, her being tormented or
this is sad
locked
right
in
here.
A dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her. Unfortunately, her downfall. Because a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? You know, go get Summer now." You know, and that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person.
She loved to be outside.
You know, and I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything.
Terrible.
I'm afraid that she won't be able to, you know, I'm locked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything, love nature, you know, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, you know, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive.
She don't like that. The mom does not like that.
Get, you know, lost in that negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So
see the mom's face there? She did not like that.
It's so easy to get. I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive.
She didn't like that.
Because it's so easy to get, you know, lost in that negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So
she's like, hell no, don't say that.
I appreciate y'all for the good things you say and your prayers. That's awesome.
Hey, Tracy.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee.
And this is about the sister.
Nothing, and you know, when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. You know, I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope, and I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again. You know, so I start thinking in past tense. Sorry, but
Okay, folks. So I'm gonna end it right there.
Okay.
Let me remove.
So let me pause that. I don't want to steal Duty Ron's video, but what they said is so valuable. I was like, okay, they're about to come on here and debunk the crap out of all of us who are, saying using past tense does not mean guilt, not looking somebody directly in the eye, having a slow manner of speech. All of these things do not mean guilt. I told you guys yesterday. I don't know shit about the FBI from nothing, right? I'm not an FBI agent. But I spent hours yesterday watching them talk about how they look at different things, right? Because I thought I knew. We've all read those articles. If your man's looking over here, he's definitely lying, girl. If parents talk about stuff in the past tense, they definitely killed their kid. None of that's true. It's not true. But I didn't know that for sure. And I kept saying it like, why do people... This is so unfair. We were begging for the parents to come out and talk. We really wanted to hear from Candace. We hear from Candace and we're like, she's high. Her shirt's on inside out. Look at her. She's a mess. She's a mess. She's on drugs. She's definitely a meth addict. Probably opioids. Maybe heroin. She's a mess. It's terrible. She did it. This is why she didn't want to come out. This is exactly why this lady was like, no, I don't want to talk to people. This is why. Because social media is brutal. It's awful. It's an awful, awful place. Yet here we are. So now we're going to get this guy on and hear the questions that he asks. And I hope Duty Ron doesn't mind me playing this. I'm not monetizing the stream, but this was such valuable information.
Investigation out of the Boston office. Talk to the viewers about your expertise, Mike.
Well, for the last 16 years of my career, I was conducting interviews every day. That includes the polygraph. It's an interview. Polygraph is essentially an enhanced interview. And I probably did close to 2,500 exams over the last 17, 18 years in my life, and 16 of those the last years of my career. We also study things like, body language, and also a person's demeanor and how they're acting in its totality.
Me
and I think
too,
that's
Lorelai.
what's going to be important here in what I have to say.
This is the most important video.
You
Right
and I
here.
we spoke today briefly about, and we had emails back and forth. I shared this and several other videos of the dad of Donald's earlier statements. So Michael has the advantage of seeing a few different interviews. But again, as you pointed out, this is limited information that he's going to give an analysis on. Again, before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, there's a lot of my fans who asked questions like, how accurate, Duty Ron, is a polygraph? And also, why or why not is a polygraph inadmissible in court? Can you expand a little bit on that for the viewing audience?
Please do.
Now, again, for you folks who are coming in late, this is Michael De La Pena. He is a 20. So if you could just give them a little bit on that, Mike.
Well, one of the problems, if you will, with polygraph in terms of it being admissible is there's no set standard for training of polygraph. So someone who goes to the federal polygraph school where I attended, it's 3 months, very rigorous school. And then we have a very rigorous apprenticeship program afterwards, which lasts as many as 2 years after graduating. You could go to a school.
Don't wait to start your rewarding career in nursing. Start sooner. Finish faster with ECP.
In some places, and in 2 weeks, you take a course and now you're a polygraph examiner. And so the exam is really only as good as the person giving that examination. So among other reasons, that is one of the reasons why it's not admissible in court. It doesn't reach the standard of, for example, DNA analysis.
No, not even close.
That brings me to the next point. What out of the exam, we looked at Chris Watts. He was given a polygraph exam by the CBI, the Colorado Bureau of Investigations. He was given the polygraph and then was told on video that he failed miserably, and then proceeded to give a confession. Can you talk about Mirandaizing folks that you conduct polygraph on? Is that necessary? Is that something that's done? Is that something that, because I don't believe we saw that with Chris Watts, but...
Let me pause and answer Jen's question. Now, she said she walked inside and told the boys to watch her. Then asked the boys where she was, and they said she was playing in the basement. I'm just confused. Let's clarify that. Prior to her coming on camera, she's never given a statement. So she has never changed her statement whatsoever. Okay? Never. Because she's never given one except for to the police, right? Grandma texted with somebody and gave her version of what was going on to a friend or whoever it was. She, Candace, called Dawn and said what happened. Dawn told her, hang up, call the police. She hangs up and calls the police. Dawn also calls the police. So we heard the condensed version of what Dawn said, not what Candace ever said, because Candace never spoke. So people are like, oh my God, she keeps changing her stories. There was no story. She never gave anybody a story. She told the police. The police have never come out and said, here's what happened on this time, this happened, she said this said that. No, none of that ever happened. People are just making assumptions based on all the things they've saw on social media. She's never said a word to us, right? She's never said a word to us. So we've never heard the accurate version, her version, of the account of what happened. We've just never heard it. So now we're hearing it and we're like, that doesn't match what we've heard. Well, what we heard was just a tiny text message between the grandma and somebody else. That's all we heard. And we have to keep that in mind. All right.
Maybe that happened before the camera rolled. But talk about that and why you would give someone Miranda warnings before connecting them up to a polygraph.
Well, we do that routinely in any criminal case when we're going to do a polygraph. And often it's before it's on tape. So you wouldn't see that,
no problem,
that portion
Jen.
of it. It's an administrative matter. Although, quite frankly, if I were taping it, I would want it on the tape so that the judge can see that he was in fact Mirandized. But one of the reasons that is a standard policy, at least with the FBI, I can't speak to other agencies, is because during the portion of the exam where the person is taking the test, they are essentially restrained. Polygraph components are placed on their body, and so therefore there is an element of you could not leave, essentially.
Yeah, you're not free to leave.
You're not free to leave.
So it's almost like being placed in handcuffs a little bit, right?
Kind of.
Yeah. So talk about some of the elements of that. And I mean, some people know and some people don't know this. Is there blood pressure cuff? Is there anything on the chest? Like a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah. So there are two, what we call pneumo tubes. They're just, it's a fancy way of saying rubber tubes. They record your respiration rate. They go here and then
Sorry, I'm trying to avoid
stomach.
the sunshine here.
There's a blood pressure cuff.
I'm doing the best I can here.
A pad that you're sitting on. That's a sensor pad. So because of these things, it's kind of restrictive in a way. And so out of an abundance of caution,
Let me turn my thing here. Hold on.
we do Mirandize. I'm not sure this.
We're going to turn the whole chair around here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've conducted 2,500 of them, so I don't
here we
think
go.
you've really seen any
Oh, that's
problems
worse.
with that. I mean,
Great.
I think
I'm
since
so
the
good at
FBI is
YouTube,
doing it,
guys.
it might
You
just
have no
even be a
idea.
standard.
I'm great at it.
Donald Wells made a statement to the
This
news
is important.
while being interviewed, and he said, "My wife took and passed a polygraph test. what's your thoughts on that? As far as the investigative team, if that in fact was not true, would that, expand a little bit on that, about the husband making that statement?
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he's not lying about that.
He's not lying.
If he were, I mean, he knows that he's being watched. He knows that he'll be immediately refuted by the investigators. So that's something that I just can't believe he would lie about. I think he believes that his wife took and passed the polygraph. I think he would actually have knowledge of that, and I have no reason to doubt that I think the investigators would immediately challenge that if that weren't true.
Exactly.
So in other words, if he was calling the bluff and just putting out his own misinformation, the TBI, the FBI, the local sheriff would immediately pay him either a visit or ask him to come in and say, hey, why are you saying that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything criminal to that element-wise because, again, he can say whatever he wants, but they are continually saying during their pressers that both parents are being totally cooperative. And I sent you that last TBI press conference. That last official press conference was on Thursday, and Leslie Earhart said and was asked, are these parents cooperating? And that was Thursday.
I know that there is a post from one of the neighbors saying that their properties too have been searched. Every single person has been cooperative, and they have not had to issue a search warrant at all for anybody. They have been able to go wherever they wanted to go. Every single person has cooperated. My guess is they're searching their properties. All you got to do is come up. Hi, I'm with the TBI. Summer lives half a mile from you. She's missing. Do you mind us searching your property? No. Come in. Search the property. And there you go.
Just this past Thursday, and she said 100% that they are cooperating.
If I could address that, from everything I've read, they're cooperated. In fact, one of the sheriffs or one of the officials said that they didn't
we don't
need
know
to
that,
get search
Mary,
warrants because the parents had consented.
You don't know
to
that
full
she ever did
searches of the
meth.
property. So, I don't see any evidence that they're not cooperating. To be frank with you, I know we want to find a villain immediately, but it's not that simple.
Right.
We want to find a villain.
And
it's
I
not that
agree
simple.
with you there because this is a small town. There's not a lot of people, and I think that there's a lot of people asking, well, what about the element of them escaping and running off or running away? It's a heavily wooded, mountainous area, and everybody knows everybody. So I think during the course of this investigation, they are giving them whatever they need to get. But I wanted to talk to you quickly before we get into the analysis of this 13 or 12 minute interview and the other interview that you saw with the dad holding on to his son. You did look at that one, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Look at that one. Okay. Let me just say quickly, thank you to Police Off the Cuff for the $20.
Well, I think we have to be careful how we judge people because these are
let the audience know what your takeaway was there.
Well, I think we have to be careful how we judge people because these are not people from Manhattan. I mean, these are very simple people. They're from their vocalization, not very educated, and they've just lost their child. We don't have all the facts yet, but I think we shouldn't judge so harshly them. I think that the mother has some sort of, I would say, cognitive impairment, or her affect is off. We don't know why. We don't know. Maybe she's medicated.
Immediately, we saw in the conversations in the chat, people were saying she looked medicated. People looked like she looked like she was either drunk or on drugs, or maybe something long-term. I don't know her medical history. None of us know her medical history. But at the end of the day, it didn't seem like to me that she was, putting together proper wording, and they were just trying to convey a message over, a news reporter that they're probably not used to having to give that type of news conference or press conference. But again, we're talking about a 5-year-old daughter of these two. I got initially, and I told you this, I conveyed this on a live stream, and I conveyed this to you. I got rubbed the wrong way. Just my detective intuition. The hair on my arm stood up when I saw the dad first speaking, and that was with his son, and where he was referring to sex trafficking, and he kind of went off the rail, like into a couple of different areas, and that red flagged me big time. And I expressed that to you on our phone conversation early this morning. And let me tell you, the audience here, there's 1,500 people watching. Michael was kind enough to take a call from me at 9 in the morning. That's how invested I am in this case. And that's how really, that's how hard that I am trying to get to the bottom of this case and give you guys a good feeling from a law enforcement's factual knowledge of conducting interviews. I wanted you to also explain to the audience what type of training, other than with polygraph, going by the name Kansas Wells, what kind of training did they?
I can't play this man's whole stream.
Incorporated into.
So I can't play his whole stream. It's not allowed.
Our best-selling one fab.
Training that you received.
So.
Well, you look for a person who is.
We're gonna get back to that. So, what do we think about what the polygraph expert, retired FBI, 29 years of experience had to say? Maybe I don't look so crazy now, huh? But from this angle, I do look like the Grinch. Anyway, so, spot on. These are not people from Manhattan. These are very simple people who are just John Crimes. They're just trying to give their account. He thinks the mother could have some type of cognitive disability. So, you know, my husband hasn't been keeping up with this whole story. He just hears me rant and rave about it. I sat him down yesterday and I had him watch the video. I didn't say a word. I said, just watch the video. He said, well, the mom seems to be missing, you know, a few teeth there. And, you know, she definitely seems like she's got maybe a disability. And I said, well, why are you saying that? He said, well, the way and she's speaking seems like she could be, you know, I don't want to say those words, but you know what I'm saying. And I'm like, no, I totally get what you're saying. I was just wondering your take on it. And he thinks the dad's an ex-biker. I don't know where he's getting that from. He's like, the dad's an ex-biker. I'm like, okay, maybe the dad's an ex-biker. But I said, you feel like watching them that these people are liars? And he's like, no. He said, I feel like she's probably sedated on top of whatever disability this lady has. She definitely looks like she's sedated. I love how we do this to our husbands. I know, poor Scott. He's probably like, oh my God, if I have to hear about this case one more day, I'm going to lose my mind. But he's been doing this forever. Yeah, the polygraph. He knows what he is doing. And he's reading their face. He's reading their body language. He's analyzing their words. And he feels like they're telling the truth. How do you feel about that? And they both passed their polygraph test. People are like, that's because she's on drugs, and drugs affect the polygraph test. So certain sedatives can make it a little easier, right? Because your blood pressure is going to naturally be lowered. You know, if you're taking a sedative, whatever, narcotic, you know, make you lower. And that may help, right? But they're not just analyzing her blood pressure and the things that they put on her. They're watching her. They're listening to her words. How many times has her story changed? How many different stories has she told? Does this match with what we have in our timeline? That kind of stuff. So they're watching all of it. They both were told that they passed. If they weren't told that, just like these two said, retired NYPD cop and a polygraph FBI expert, the authorities, the TBI, the FBI, and the sheriff would have gone back to them and said, you need to go correct that because we've never told you that you passed anything.
I'm getting this back.
You just scared me half to death, boy. All right, put it right there, baby. Thank you, honey.
I'm not asking if it can come out because I'm doing yard work.
Oh, you're doing yard work. Fun times. We've all got a lot of feelings. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think happened to Summer? I wish I knew. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Defensive, challenging, when it's inappropriate, a person who is combative.
All right, so this is what they're looking for.
Because I want you to give it in layman's terms. What are some of the signs, or what are some of the training that you receive for this?
Well, you look for a person who is defensive, challenging, when it's inappropriate, a person who is combative, a person who is closed physically. They'll close their legs up, their arms up. And to be honest, I didn't see any of that with these people. Their demeanor seems very, very calm, and which, you would say that would be weird, except it's been 2 weeks since she's been missing, so they wouldn't be hysterical.
Right.
I just didn't see any.
That's another major thing. People are like, why did Candace do an interview and she wasn't even crying? So you wanted her to go on TV 2 weeks after her child went missing and sob the whole time. That would have been better for everybody. And not accurately try to answer the questions that she was being given by this reporter. She was probably nervous as shit. Her face, her voice, the way everything is going to be all over TV, social media, and everywhere else. She's probably just like, oh God, don't let me burp or something. Like, don't let me, don't let one of the kids come out here and throw a dog, or like, good Lord in heaven. How many of you have been interviewed on the news? I'm sure that shit is like, and add to that, she knows everything being said about her already. She already knows everything that's being said. So now she's probably like, oh God, they're going to tear me apart. That Facebook group's going to go all the way in on me. And people say, oh, but if my child was missing, I wouldn't care what social media thought. You're a lie. You're a lie. We all have tragedies going on in our life right now. Let somebody fire up a live about you and see if you just don't care about it. Absolutely you'd care. Absolutely you would care. If somebody was out there bashing you on social media 24 hours a day, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of posts about you, somebody that they don't know at all. They don't know you. They know a snapshot of time of your life while you're dealing with the tragedy. That's all they know. And you know who you are. You know who you are. And you're having to read what these people are saying about you. You're telling me that you wouldn't be offended? You would. People are like, I just wouldn't even care. You wouldn't. You little fifis wouldn't be hurt. You're a liar.
Red flags from my perspective in terms of being defensive at all. They were very, very calm, and his demeanor, both of them, I thought were calm.
Now, also for the listening audience here, this is not an interrogation or an interview with law enforcement. This is the news media sitting down in their backyard, essentially. This is the backyard of their house or the side of their house. So the interview that was given or conducted, it was nothing like this. It was more direct questions. It's more, speak about those lines of questioning versus what this laid back type session is. This is for the media to show and to get ratings, I think, in a sense. We have the parents and here's their plea.
So some of us in here are true crime addicts, right? Hi, my name's Tracy, and I'm addicted to true crime. Okay? The first step is admitting. Come with me, if you will. I listen to so much true crime that I'm probably going to end up being the fucking victim of a true crime, right? Because I have it on all day. There's something definitely wrong with me. People literally vanish into thin air. Happens all the time. Vanish. Gone. There was a guy in Boston. Can we take a side note here? Gray and I were covering this case. There was a man in Boston, forgive me for not remembering his name right now. He went to I want to say it was hockey and not basketball, but the Bruins. It was either the Bruins or the Celtics, honey. It was one or the other. It was at the Boston Garden. The Boston Garden's literally in my backyard in Boston, okay? Literally. So I went down there. When me and Gray were doing it, I went there. Because I'm like, there's no fucking way that this happened. There's no way that it happened. Here's what happened. They get these tickets, him and his buddy, to go to the game. You don't give up tickets in Boston because we're psychopaths when it comes to sports. He wasn't feeling very well. But again, you don't give up tickets in Boston. So he went. He went with his buddy. He had a beer. One beer. And he says to his friend, halfway through, he's like, I really don't feel good. I gotta go. You're from Boston too? Boston. So, he says, I just don't feel well. I'm gonna go. And his friend's like, all right. He goes out front, calls his girlfriend. Can you come get me? She's like, yeah, I'm not far. What's the street that you're on? He gives her the name of the street of the Boston Garden. She's like, oh, I'm right around the corner. He says, okay. Then his signal goes out. She turns the corner. He's gone. He's gone. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not she sees him walking away. Not somebody watched him jump into a truck or a car. Not that he went back into Boston Garden. He literally was gone. Poof. He's never been seen again. She was on the phone with him. She drove around. It takes a minute to drive. Boston got a lot of traffic. The streets suck down there. She turns the corner. Poof. Poof. You remember this. He was gone. What about Brian? Was it Brian Schaefer who went into the bar that had the escalators? He's with his friends. He goes into the bar. He goes up the escalator with his friends. At some point, you see him come down the escalator and talk to some chicks. You see him go back up the escalator. His friends go to look for him at closing time. Where is he? They looked at all the CCTV footage. They looked at that escalator. He never left. There was one exit. He never left. He never left. You understand what I'm saying? He did not leave. He didn't go down the escalator. There's no other way out. He never left. He's never been heard of ever again. What? Yes, Sabrina. What? Go listen to Vanished, what is it, 411? The people who go hiking and are never seen again. They go into the parks and they're just gone. There's hundreds of them. It's like, I don't know. It could be aliens. Let's listen.
So it's not the same as if we were to bring them in and question them, correct?
Absolutely, because what you're looking at there is just a non-confrontational, chat. So it's limited in it. It's all I have to go on, is what I'm saying there. But if I had them in an interview with me or an interrogation, you might see different if they are somehow involved, because I would be challenging them directly and directly asking them, did you have something to do with her disappearance? And then you'd want to see their reaction to those challenging questions, and we just don't have that.
Yeah, we don't know how they're interrogating them yet. They may have interrogated the hell out of them. We don't know. Thank you so much, Sandra. They cut it all up, did they not? They did that to incite, Sandra. They cut that up into pieces, put non-skippable ads on it on their website, and only included what they wanted the public to see. Then later, after everybody's attacked them, they put out the full video. Are you kidding me right now? But I wanted to make a note, okay? The missing 411 people, you're kind of off in the wilderness. You might could got eaten by a bear, allegedly. The people that I'm talking about, the one in Boston and then Brian, there's so many more. I could list so many more, but we ain't got time for that. They were in public settings with people around them, and they're gone. They've vanished into thin air. It absolutely happens. So people are like, she couldn't have just vanished. Sure, she could have. Sure, yeah, sure, yes, yes. It happens all the time, unfortunately. I don't know how the hell it happens. And people are like, well, what do you think happened to her? I think the mother was planting and went back to straighten out the grandma's knee brace. And Summer did go into the house, but maybe she went out that side door. They said she constantly wanted to be outside. Maybe she, you know, she went in. The boys are playing video games. They always want to be at home all the time because they want to play their video games, just like my neighbor's children, the one who was just right here. Same thing. Their daughter loves to be out. Their boys are like, oh no, we're about to play this video game. So the boys were ignoring her, and she's like, screw them. She went out the side door. Maybe she went out to get something. Maybe she wanted to go play with the dogs. Who knows? If the mom is on that side of the house, look at the aerial. Look at it. It's, if it was me, the door is over there, okay? The trailer's over there. And then you got a big house in the middle, okay? She could have come out that door and nobody saw her. Didn't see her. Maybe one of the puppies ran off. Did you see how many puppies they have? Maybe one of the puppies ran off and she went to follow him. I don't know. I don't know. No, the dogs aren't
I mean, he sent me a pretty detailed email. I'm not gonna read it here, but basically, he went over all the points and all of the things that he would look for.
Someone could have.
And there was no indication for him. And this is a professional, so don't kill the messenger here. LM, thank you so much for the $5
professional
super chat. You and I spoke too again.
Not
we're not going to just force feed what the masses want to hear.
Exactly.
Okay.
Why I
Again,
love this guy.
my detective intuition and my skill set says something's not right about the dad. I just now saw the mom, and I say to myself, we could be dealing with some type of mental impairedness. If that's even a word, but or
I don't know,
some type of medication
searched all
that
the
she's
tapes,
on.
though.
We don't have that data, and that's the difference here. Is that we don't have access to the files. We don't know.
So Judy Ron says, "Well, there's something up with that dad." Well, the dad's a criminal. The dad is a criminal. He is, and I've communicated with his niece, and the dad is allegedly, and this is very much allegedly because I don't know. Unless you send me your Ancestry.com DNA results showing me you're related to this man, I don't know you from a can of paint, sis. You could be a troll in the Facebook groups telling lies. We know everything about these people now. I can go on there with a brand new name and make up every lie in the book about Dawn Wells. Every lie in the book. How are you going to know that it's not true? So unless the people who are interviewing them on YouTube, because it's YouTubers interviewing them, unless you saw proof, like her sitting on his lap, them eating a family dinner together, something, you have no idea if she knows him. You have no idea who the fuck this is. There are some people who are so dead set on convicting these people, they'll do anything. They have nothing better to do with their time or their lives. So allegedly, I reached out to her too. And I asked her, is this true? And she said, yes, it's true. I said, okay. Has anybody ever accused him publicly? And she said, not that I know of. There were 4 of them. 4 people he allegedly molested. 4. None of them come out? Not one? And this went on for years upon years upon years. And he was never caught? He was only caught breaking and entering and doing forgery or some nonsense. But he's a serial molester. That's what you're telling me? That he's a serial molester? Nobody ever came forward? Nobody ever said anything? So, Duty Ron, he is an NYPD cop, right? His gut is saying to him, something's up with this man, right? Well, yeah, he's a criminal. Yeah, he's a criminal. So a cop is going to know a criminal, right? They're going to feel that, like, you're a little bit suspect. Now, is Don coming out and saying, yes, I was a criminal? He's like, yeah, I have a record. You know, I'm trying to turn my life around here. You know, when you're a criminal, how easy is it for you to snap your finger and change your life? I'm a smoker. I want to quit. As I smoke a fucking pack of cigarettes a day. But I want to quit, right? I'm a coffee addict. I'd love to quit, but I really love coffee a lot. You know, maybe you dated somebody who's a serial cheater. Maybe you dated somebody who's a fucking liar. How easy is it for people to just change their behaviors? It's not very easy. People are like, yes, you can change anything. Try it. What's the one thing that you do, that you always do? Thank you, Aussie. Porch chats. What's the thing that you do? Can you change it right away? Right now? Probably not. Takes time. Takes time. Right? I love my smoke some coffee, honey. That's what I'm saying. So I've heard Chantix is great, but I'm also scared. Like I said, my mom's dad molested her and many others and never was reported. Okay, so your mom's dad molested her and many others, and they never reported him. Do you know why they never reported him? Were they afraid of him? Was he violent? Was he, you know, what was the reason? Oh, Chantix causes cancer. Great. Anyway.
What they were questioned on. But I could tell you this.
Great.
As far as the Federal Bureau of
45.
Investigation and the Colorado Bureau, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI, these folks don't mess around. And when it comes to investigations like this,
awesome.
They have the best tools of the trade. And Mike can tell you, and I'll tell you this, they don't just put their B or C squad guy on or gal on it. They
Pause. KDC. She lived in Wisconsin, and a friend of the family was in the same area when Rose disappeared. He is now in the area where Summer disappeared. FBI is aware of this. Are you talking about Chris Marcos? I'm asking if you're talking about Chris Marcos, KDC. If you could tell me that, that'd be great. And he hurt the foster kids. What I'm saying is, with this case, we don't know. We don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying. Yeah, Crystal, he's one of the last people to see her. I'm waiting for KDC to respond. I'm going to give it another second here. KDC. There's so much, Keisha. Just a couple words. What did KDC say? She said she lived in Wisconsin, and a friend of the family was in the same area when Rose disappeared. Rose is the sister. He is now in the area where Summer disappeared. The FBI is aware of this. So I'm asking her, is she talking about Chris Marcos? But she hasn't answered me yet. Question mark? Okay. Chris Marcos was not in the same area when Rose disappeared. His residence was an hour and a half away. Chris Marcos is the stepson of the grandmother's brother. Okay? He lived at one point in the same county, the same town that the grandmother did. Rose went missing when she was going to meet her cousin at a bar. She left her house between 7 and 7:30 p.m. She went to drive to the bar, which was 30 minutes away. Nobody ever saw her again. He has not been in Tennessee since Summer was 5 months old. That's 4.5 years ago.
A Squad on it. This is a nationally and now internationally covered story.
Exactly.
Same thing goes for the California City Boys. They're not going to put some slouchy.
The dad did not bring up the sister to begin with. He was asked in an interview because people were trying to connect the sister being missing from years ago to Summer. One went missing in Wisconsin and one.
Detectives on the scene, the investigators that are running it are the best of the best. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, Mike. You know, the bosses, there's bosses that are run. I know you don't get your spectacles on. It's Garden Girl. She's a channel member. Thanks much.
Narcotic drug.
Thanks much. Love to you and Duty Ron.
But medications that you're on could definitely affect a polygraph. If it's an antipsychotic drug, if it's a
British Chippy says, Chasing watches the chat as best she can. Go ahead with any questions. Be prepared for an honest answer, though. So Scott is doing some things. And I was trying to talk to him about the way that he speaks to people, which can be kind of brutal, you know. And I said, you know, I have to check myself. I go back and watch my YouTube videos sometimes, and I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. What are you doing? I don't mean to come off as snippy, bitchy. I'm from Boston. We are usually extremely direct. I don't like rumors and speculation. That's all we have in this case. I'm doing my damnedest to only go by what we know for sure, which is very little because it's an active investigation and the police are not going to give us all this information. What I won't do is judge these parents. We can speculate, but we can't say, oh, she's a meth addict. Or, you know, he's a fake religious person. You don't know those things to be true. Those are your opinions. We can say, well, her speech was slurred. Could she be on depression medication? Maybe they sedated her. We can compare stories. If the grandmother gave a statement today, we could then go back and take the grandmother's statement and compare it to the text message she said. Something we could do. We can look at Don Wells and say, okay, he gave this statement on this day and this one on this day, and they're very different. We can listen to an FBI agent and see what he said, but what I'm not going to do is pretend I know these people and judge them and accuse them of murdering their child. So when you come in here with some crazy bullshit, I might be a little more honest than not. But the great news is there are plenty of channels who love doing that, and you can find them.
Blocker, so if you're on some heart medications, it could have some effects. So again, we don't know if she's on medications or also if she's high on something, you know, that's would really invalidate the test, to be honest with you.
Right.
You know, and these are different factors that we do not have access to the files. The investigators, they know her medications. They have a list of her medications. Like some people say, well, HIPAA laws, she doesn't have to tell them.
Aha. What did he just say? The investigators have a list of her medications. Let me ask you this. In the real world, do you think if she's on meth and heroin and crack, the investigators are like, well, Summer's missing. If you need to do meth today, we're all right with that. You can do it today. I don't know about Tuesday. Might be out of the question. But today, it's all right. Okay? Heroin requires, you know, some things, allegedly. You gotta heat it up and do all the things with the situation, unless she's sniffing it. That kind of, I don't know. Of course they know what she's on. Of course they know. Of course. People are like, she's definitely a drug addict. Well, then she's in deep fucking withdrawal right now, with cops all over their house. You know, unless she's just a maniac. And it's just like, hey, sheriff, you want some meth? I am the hookup right here. Come on. No.
Well, it behooves her to tell him if she's on any type of medication, because that will justify any type of slurred speech or not proper sentence putting forward. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a 5-year-old girl who vanished. In what the mom says, what Kansas says, is a matter of moments. You didn't take anything away from that story of her planting flowers in the front with her mom, the grandmother, and then
I like him a lot,
the boys, and the daughter goes inside, and then she goes down to the basement, and then the mom goes and does something, and then comes back in moments, and then poof, she's gone. Nothing caught you odd about that statement? I mean, I asked you to look at their body language, but what about that statement, Mike?
I would hesitate to read too much into that for the very reason that sometimes the passage of time can appear differently to a person, especially under stress. So I just wouldn't read too much into that. But however,
this guy doesn't even know he's my husband yet, child. We're gonna get rid of Scott, allegedly, because this man right here. Okay. Listen to what he says. Did you hear what he says? Jason True smokes meth sometimes, allegedly. Shh. Not at this moment while I'm on live, but later. It's meth day up in this bitch.
I would note that according to the story, she wasn't alone with Summer. She was with her mother.
Right. And that story did change, because initially she was saying that she was alone, and then now mom is there. You could bet your bottom.
Judy Ron, I love you so much. She never said she was alone. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Now, it may be some, with the passage of time, we've been following this for 14 days, right? With the passage of time, you start to think things are real. Gray Hughes called me on the phone. He's like, where's the 5:30 timeline, Tracy? Where is it? Where's that? And I'm like, it's in the video about like 7 minutes or something. I don't know. Yeah, people sniff heroin. I don't know. But I've watched so much that in my brain, there definitely was somebody who said 5:30. Could I find it? No. And I'm telling Gray Hughes, don't fucking doubt me, because I'm telling you, somebody said 5:30. We couldn't find it. Have you or anyone else addressed the new favorite song Candace said was summered? Yeah, one of them, Welcome to the House, NU Breed, It's Crazy, Guns, and an Attempt to Kidnap. So, there are a lot of crazy songs, and, I hate that I always have to relate this to a story about my own life or somebody that I know, because apparently somebody didn't fucking like that yesterday. Hopefully you unsubscribed, or you never did subscribe. Anyway, there are very large bugs out here right now. I don't let my kids listen to anything crazy, okay? Especially never my son. Ever, okay? Scott's a little more freewheeling, because Scott loves a rap song, honey. One time, I found out that my daughter knew this fucked up rap song. I'm like, how do you know that song? She's like, I heard it in Daddy's car, and then I looked it up. So I went down to have the conversation with Scott. I'm like, you're letting her listen to this bullshit? It was like, it's music, it's on the radio, she can hear it. I'm like, no, you don't let her listen to stuff like that. We have Sirius, you could put on Kids Disney or something. He's like, I'm not doing that in my own car, and you cuss like a truck driver, so what are you worried about? I'm like, how dare you, sir? But it's true. Additionally, my sister is very into rap music. Her kids know them lyrics back, forth, sideways, and upside down, child. Do I judge my own sister? A little bit. I'll be giving it a side eye. Like, why does your son even know that song? She was like, fuck you mean? He's gonna hear this his whole life. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to let him hear it. Yeah. Shield him. And they say I keep my kids in a bubble. Whatever. I don't care. But the point is, this music is on the radio. They're going to hear it. If they like the beat, if they like the music, Hey, it's your kid. Do what you do. It's not my business.
Dollar folks that grandma has been interviewed time and time
TikTok's
again,
the worst, yeah.
Probably by multiple people
TLC
from
tape.
multiple agencies. And I think everybody
Welcome,
in this
Stephanie.
entire family, the complete family olive branch,
the
has
Stallion.
been called in, Mike, and correct me if I'm wrong, and interviewed, right? Electronic devices,
Marilyn
if
Manson.
there were any, and we know that spotty cell service is in this mountain.
Can we just read this? My kid loves Marilyn Manson. She's very young. I mean, look at preacher's kids. Ted Bundy wore a turtleneck. Hello.
Area. The TBI, Leslie Earhart, says that communications is challenging. Sheriff Lawson
Yeah, I have
acknowledged
the
that
grandma's text. I can show
it's
it to you.
always been an issue with cell coverage and Wi-Fi in that area. As a matter of fact, when they do their press conferences, it's from
Somebody
this
did,
berm
Kelly.
that has a power transmission line, and you see the news
I'm sure of
reporters,
it.
you see the investigators. I heard a news reporter say, if I move to the right, I'm going to lose the signal.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a challenging area. Captain Tim Coop from the Church Diver Dogs, but they basement,
Okay.
and then she yelled down to the basement. She was no longer there. This doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make sense. So some type of information is not getting out the right way here, because if I'm on this investigation, the house is the first place. You work yourself from the
So somebody said the house was never searched. Now, Judy Ron should know better. Of course the house was searched. Of course the house was searched. And he's saying the information's getting out there wrong. Of course it is. Of course it is. You know what the TBI and the FBI and the sheriff aren't concerned with? Us. You know what they don't give a fuck about us? They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about us and our opinions and our need for every detail of these people's lives and their investigation. They don't give two flying fucks in a bucket about what we are concerned with. No, they don't. So they're giving us what they give us, and that's what you finna get. That's what you're gonna get, and that's all you're gonna get, and then you shut up, okay? Then what happens is somebody hears something, and we hear a lot of things that we want to hear, right? And then we carry that back to the Facebook group, and we spin it for all it's worth and change it and leave out a portion, and somebody goes and repeats that, right? Then the next person who reads that goes to a different Facebook group and repeats it, but it's never the same, right? Because it's the telephone game. So you heard it on a TBI press conference, and then you thought what you heard was this, and you put it in there, and then somebody's like, oh, I definitely read on Facebook that they ain't even searched the house. 1,150 searchers. They didn't search the house. I need you to change your clothes, buddy, because we're going to go get Alex soon. So find a pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
This is a t-shirt.
That is in pajamas.
This is a t-shirt.
Shh, they're in the drawer. In your drawer. Go upstairs in the second and third drawer and find shorts and a t-shirt. Now would be good. Don't argue with me.
How is this not a t-shirt?
Honey, that's like a nightgown. T-shirt, Just go ahead now.
inside out. So if mom
see what
and
it looks
the
like.
son said that
Shirt
she
on
went
his knees
downstairs
with,
to
pajama shorts.
play in the playroom, as mom says, why aren't the cadaver dogs down there, the bloodhounds?
Of course they are.
I don't understand.
I have to think that they've been in there already. I just don't
you,
think we have that
Michael.
information then.
Thank you,
But
Michael.
I heard with my own ears, TBI and the sheriff say that they didn't go in the house.
I haven't heard that at
Maybe
all.
they must misspoke. I don't know.
It has to be, or if not, then why not? I mean, that's on them. They need to get a warrant then.
Right. And no warrants have been issued as per the sheriff. And that was Thursday. I can play it. I know I don't have to play it. You can trust me on that. Let me go to the chat quickly because I feel like I'm ignoring this 1,800 people watching here live right now. Let me know where you're watching, your city and state or your country. And if you're new, put a new in the chat so I can say hello quickly to you.
No. We can't do all of that.
Good health starts with good sleep and a ring.
Thank you.
Aura is the most accurate and personalized health technology wrapped around your finger.
Examiner. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
In cases like this, and part of the team involves,
groundbreaking.
forensics. They're going to go through all, no doubt about it.
All right, 1 sec.
Is
Here we
that
go.
all going to come into play here at some point in time, or has it been put in play as of now, would you think, 2 weeks in?
There's absolutely no doubt about it. They have FBI has teams that go out specifically in cases like this, and part of the team involves, forensics. They're going to go through all their devices and
All their
all
devices,
social media and everything is
Social
going to be
media.
looked at. So
all of it.
they won't leave any stone unturned.
Yeah. Let's also.
And that's one of the best questions we get on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere. Have they looked at the mom's phone? Why haven't they looked in the house? Have they pinged her phone? Have they looked down in that basement anywhere? How come they haven't searched the neighbor's house? Do you think these people are like, this is the motherfucking FBI. It's the FBI. 1,200 people. It's amazing to me. It's constant, too. Do you think they've searched them? Why haven't they looked at Candace's cell phone? Why? What? Of course they've looked at her cell phone. What are you talking about? Why haven't dogs been on that property? Well, if dogs haven't been on that property, how'd they track her to the road? Do you think their skinny ass puppy dog that you see in all the pictures is the one who tracked her to the road? I'm going to go with scent dogs did that. Of course they've been on the property. What? There's neighbors posting in these groups saying, I just drove by Ben Hill again and there's so many cars out there. They have aerial shots to show the car. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. So do we think that they're just like searching the woods and they're like, well, the house isn't important. Mom's cell phone's definitely not important, especially since the pictures of Summer and the videos of her last moments are on this phone. Definitely not important. We're not going to check that at all. Nope, we're not going to bring in forensics. We're not going to fingerprint anything. We're not going to take items of clothing for the scent dogs or nothing. We're just going to guess that the scent dogs came up the hill and were like, oh, I'm not looking for the other 8 people who are here. I'm looking for Summer. And she smells like this.
To give an acknowledgement to the
Sorry, Steve's
Captain Tim
snarky.
Cook
True.
from the Churchill Rescue Squad. Now, these are not law enforcement guys, but the rescue squad is there to go out into the deep brush if someone gets hurt or if someone is lost. And these are guys who are trained professionals. They talk about copperhead snakes and all the different wildlife that's out there. It's a dangerous thing for the general public to start going and trying to search in this terrain. So we really,
thank you.
I mean, I can't overemphasize how important it is for you to be careful and not to go out there and search alone. And they're actually saying don't search unless, you're a professional organization and you come down there and get approval. So they're asking everybody to please,
Hold up, wait. Abuses dogs, horses, children, all they can get their hands on, and no poverty, no excuse. Explain your comment. Explain your comment. Who abuses dogs and horses and children and everything else that they can get their hands on? Trade DJ person. Who does that? Amy Lou, who you talked to the mom and dad last night? Can you prove that? You can. How? Are you a neighbor? Well, Didn't Candace say she walked Summer up to the house? Why would she do that? So, in the interview, Dad says that every time they've told the boys, keep an eye on your sister, Summer ends up outside by herself. And they have to go in and yell at the boys to go get their sister. Because the boys are on their video games, and they want to do that, and Summer wants to be outside. So it was obviously a thing in that home that they kept having to tell the boys over and over, watch your sister. And little Summer kept running outside. Yeah, Amy could call in. So you're their friend. Okay, Amy. All these people, because she had a shaved head. Oh my God. Can I switch to StreamYard and have her on panel? I cannot. I don't know if she wants to call in. I don't know if that's her reason for being here. You can feel free to email me at chasingtruth2@gmail, and we can set something up. If you wanted to come up and talk, then you're more than welcome to. But I would need proof that you're actually their friend.
Let them do their job. Right now, the daily searches have been scaled back, and that would tell me that the investigative part of this,
oh my God,
the investigation has gone to a different, into a different area. There's no longer that urgency of a recovery or saving this little girl. They're now going into.
Why are kids 13 and under responsible for their baby sister? Because it's their sister. Because it's their sister. And if the mother tells you, watch your sister, then it means watch your fucking sister. Watch your sister. You always keep an eye on your family, your sisters, your brothers. Always. Your dogs, whatever. Welcome, Autumn. Thank you so much. Always. That's the way it works. The parents were on the mother was on the property, and so was the grandmother. So they said, keep an eye on your sister. They're there. They're there with them. But if mom's outside, they're telling you, keep an eye on your sister. Get your face out of your video games and watch your sister. And they didn't. I mean, they're young boys. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go right back to what we're doing here. Can be so rude. You don't know anything. No, we don't. And Allie, I fully admit that I am snarky-ish. But I'm snarky when it comes to accusations about the family. We don't know that the family did anything. My sister was always responsible for us. She's the eldest. Yeah, you take care of your family.
A different
you do.
area, and we'll still search if they get credible information, and that's what they
hard,
said.
Samantha.
Anytime, thank you for the $5 super chat.
And I'm
Why was
naturally
the mom
snarky,
said
so
here
that
the little girl shaved a little part of her head, and then she just shaved it all off, and then the mom
Thank you so much.
shaved it. There was a talk that someone said that there was lice involved. I don't know. I think that was just a rumor. But that's irrelevant. It doesn't really matter because we're talking about having to try to find, out what happened to this girl.
Oh my God,
Was she
help me,
abducted?
Jesus. Betty, it is not proven. That's not proven. Email me, chasingtruth2@gmail with proof. If you guys have proof of stuff, if I'm saying stuff that's wrong, then email me. I'm more than willing to read it. But it simply isn't true.
Was she sex trafficked, which I highly doubt? Was she just randomly picked up?
Dawn's not the father.
Was it a planned thing?
There's proof.
Was it somebody trying to get back at the father for a bad business deal? These are all things that investigators have to look at. I want to go on to some of your work, Mike, so we can promote, 'cause I want to wrap it up. I'm already past the time I promised you, 45 minutes. Author of 3 books, Coyote Wars,
Right.
The Last Coyote.
So there you go. And then they go into what's going on with him and who he is and all of that stuff and all of that interesting stuff. So there's that. Sorry, Street Watch. I know it's terrible. And every time before I get on, I'm like, you know what? Today I'm not going to be snarky. Today I'm not going to be like sarcastic. I'm not going to do that because it's not right. And I'm not. And then I do it. Sorry. Please use your critical thinking skills. Hello. Welcome to my channel. Please use critical thinking skills here. Her dad did. So this is a parent sympathizer channel. I thought it was about Summer. I mean, it's your channel, run it how you want. Typically, that's what I do. And it's definitely not a parent sympathizer channel. It is let's be really clear. It's as much fact as we can possibly get in a case where we have very, very little information. It's also a place where anybody from all walks of life can be and not be judged. If you're poor and have no teeth, that's okay. You know, if you live in a mansion and you think you're better than everybody else, that's okay too. If you are coming in here with absolutely zero facts and calling the parents drug addicts with zero facts, I'm going to call you out on it. If you're just spreading rumors for no reason other than to spread rumors, yeah. And go look at my other videos where we're spreading information about Summer. This is going over what the FBI said. That's the purpose of today's stream. And the FBI said they probably did pass their polygraphs. They probably did. And he doesn't feel like they're being disingenuous. That was the purpose of this stream. You can get something for lunch. Go ahead. Because we're going to be leaving very, very soon. 1 second, please. Sorry. Never watched this channel, but you're saying all this stuff. I know. I'm like, yeah, it is frustrating. It is frustrating. Thanks, Laura. Because people don't like that. They want to come to a channel where you will bash the parents, where you're going to attack people. They want the drama of it all. You know, they want me to say that she's probably a drug addict and she was probably being beaten on a daily basis. And Summer was probably chopped into pieces. You know, that's what people want me to say, but I'm not going to say that. So, because I don't think it's true. So, and I promise you, you can find plenty of places to do that. It's just not here. It's just not here, right? We can theorize. I mean, what choice do we have? We don't have a choice but to make guesses. We don't really have a choice. We can compare what we know. We can compare what we know. And an alien abduction too. But, you know, we don't know all of this. To come in and be like, they're on meth and they abuse animals and, you know, you don't know any of that. So no, I'm not going to allow it. And yeah, I'm going to call it out because I don't like it. And make a channel. Run them into the ground. Do whatever you want to do. But you're not going to do it here. You're not going to do it here. Okay, Betty, can you email me that? Even if mom is an addict, that's not the point, right? It's not the point. The mom could, like, be a legit addict. Not the point. How is her being an addict going to help anybody find Summer? How? How? I've been watching you for a few days. I love your honesty. Thank you, Carla. I'm late because I'm lazy. Just your thought on the 2 minutes that she went missing. Do you think someone was watching them? Well, I don't think it was 2 minutes, Tracy. Right? So when I talked to Gray yesterday, I was driving and I wish I knew what time it was. It was 5 something, right? It was 5 something. And we were talking about that. I'm like, 2 minutes, man? I said, when I was thinking back today, I knew that I had to do X amount of projects for work. And it's 5 in the afternoon. I said, now I'm trying to think exactly what time did I do that? How long did it take me? I have no idea. I want you to stop right now. Think about yesterday. Think about one thing that you did. Can you tell me the exact time that it took? Was it 2 minutes? Was it 6 minutes? Was she just trying to make herself sound better to Dawn and say, I took my eyes off her for 2 minutes? I feel like that's kind of what she did. She's saying 2 minutes to make herself sound like a more attentive parent, right? It was probably like 10 minutes, right? I don't think that it was 2 minutes. 2? I don't think so. I think she said 2, she was kind of stuck to 2, and then that was it. Because what if she changes it? We don't know anything about their relationship except that the police were called there in October, right? We know that he's been the spokesperson. He's been the most vocal. So is he the kind of guy who expects her to be keeping her eyes on those kids while he's at work making them money? Maybe. So she said 2 minutes, and later if she changed it to, I was outside with my mom for like 15 minutes. Speculation time. Candace, you told me on the phone 2 minutes, that you left her for 2 minutes. Now you're telling me it was 15 minutes? Maybe he ain't gonna like that very much. Yeah, I just want Summer to be found. Look it up yourself. It's on public record. You're the one who come in here and said it. Look it up myself. The fuck? How the fuck you gonna come in my channel and tell me something? I ask you to email me the proof. You can tell me to look it up myself? You must have bumped your motherfucking head. So 2 minutes. Yeah, I say 2 minutes all the time. The dogs were out for 2 minutes. They were probably out there for 30. It was like 2 minutes, and I came back down, and they tore up that stuffed animal. Can you imagine? Little bastards. I was upstairs probably for an hour. I'm sorry, T-Bori. People be on my last nerve. Like, how are you going to come in here and I'm asking you genuinely to send me the proof, and you tell me to look it up myself? I think I've done enough research on this case. Go back to the hours upon hours of video. Okay? Yeah, you do that. And I don't give a flying fuck if he's her daddy. That's the daddy she knows. That's the dad she knows. Okay? So maybe mama was out there being a tramp in the streets, honey. 600 people? Oh my lord. I didn't know how many people were in here. That's way up there, and it's in white, so you can barely see it with the sun, but welcome. I'm sure half of these people are like, I'm never coming back here. I hate her. I hate her. She's so annoying. She thinks she knows everything. I know. I feel the same way about myself. I promise you I do. After these streams, I'm like, bitch, God, you don't know everything. You're so annoying. But it happens all the time. So I'm sorry. Thank you, Jenny. Who your daddy is? We don't know. We don't know who the daddy is. I believe it's Dawn. Hey, Roadrunner. Yeah, all the kids at least have the same color hair and look similar to each other. So, allegedly. Gosh. Oh, Laura, you're the daddy? What you doing over there, girl? Thank you, Amy. I can't either. Yeah, Lucy, it's just, it's so much, man. It's too much. And it's distracting because we all love drama and gossip, don't we? I love it so much. I am not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. I watch it. I'm like, let me go see what Facebook's saying, girl. Oh my God, what she did today. Summer, you're out of control, Bish. Not Summer, Candace. Every group. I read them. I read it. So we're all watching it. We're all reading it, right? But then you see it spiral into this huge, crazy thing that you can go back and see the original post. Like, how the hell did they get here from there? How did that even just happen? One comment can spiral off into, I don't even know what. That Chris Marcos was in Tennessee and was the grandmother's boyfriend. I've heard that 100 times. What? Chris Marcos is her nephew. It's her nephew. But people are like, well, we've heard that that's her boyfriend. Her boyfriend? Why? Where? What? How? And then people believe it, right? They totally believe it. They're like, oh yeah, Chris Marcos, that's the grandma's boyfriend. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And people believe it. It is the telephone game, Scarlett. It's so insane. It's so insane. So, the police, yeah, her maiden name's Bly. I think when she gets annoyed with him, she uses the Bly name. I think. Well, it is Tennessee. True. But with all these dogs, wouldn't they be going nuts if someone's strange? Possibly. Possibly. I know one of my dogs would lose his mind. But I know the other ones would just try to lick you to death. They'd be like, how are you? How did you even get here? We love you so much. Do you have treats for us? Oh my God, there's a big spider right there. That's how I feel. You know, one of my dogs is going to tear your face off. But what if he was in the house, that dog, and the other ones were in the yard? They're literally going to do nothing. One of them ain't even going to move. He ain't even going to get up. He's going to kind of glance at you, probably fart a couple of times and lay there. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. So, because it's Tennessee and it has no bearing on anything. Mandy says, do you think it could be connected to the sister of Candace? I don't. No, because that's Wisconsin and Summer wasn't even thought of unless they have a ring of selling children, which I don't believe that it would. You know, Soulskin says my dog would welcome all the intruders. A little girl drowned. She didn't, because we see a photo of her with the metadata of 3:09 p.m. and she was definitely alive. Jeanette, I really wish I knew. BBT Boston. I don't know if you have grandkids yet, but it's a whole other issue. Yeah, exactly. Grandkids get to do everything that they want to do. Multiple dogs. Sometimes they bark, sometimes they didn't. So Marcus is nothing except no, he's a step nephew. He is the stepson of her brother Buck. Imagine. Of course the brother's name is Buck, but it is. I want to say she was either 21 or 24, Rose. I'm positive she was 21 when she disappeared, yeah. Someone might have been in the basement. Possible. This is my brother Buck. This is my mom, Candace, and my daughter, Candace, and my other granddaughter, Candace, and my husband, Don, and his dad, Don, and his son, Don. Yeah. Oh, yeah, at least that, right? Oh, they need to look for a shallow grave close to the water. Why is that, Jay? I legally used my maiden name after I got my... Yeah, it happens all the time. My brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl. I encourage the psycho barking. I definitely don't. Yeah, they're not from Tennessee anyway. You know, but that's another story for another day. And he married Connie, her other brother's daughter. Facts. So, Chris Marcos is married to his step-cousin. Dun, dun, you know, how can you not get caught up in the drama of all of this? There are 3 Dawns, 3 Candaces, a missing sister from Wisconsin, you know, 2 sex offenders in the family, an alleged other offender in the family, a mother who sadly, you know, it's a whole situation there. You know, the baby has a shaved head. You know, you're going to think the worst, right? But you've got to go research it all. And you have to go see the 40 photos of Summer looking like a little princess. A princess. In a tutu. With bugs. With pink on. And barrettes in her hair. And happy with her mom. At a pumpkin patch. And at a Christmas parade. Yeah, I've seen Marcos's arrest record, yep. The Squidbillies. Mississippi, Alabama. Mississippi's my favorite state, Amy Lou Who, so there you go. Tennessee's like a different country to me. And living in Boston's so easy for me to judge. BBT. So I'm a Bostonian who lived in Mississippi and Tennessee. And yeah, it's a whole different world, right? I mean, I like it much better in Mississippi than I do. Whoa, did you guys just see me go blurry? Did you guys see that, or was that my eyes? Oh my God. Am I having a stroke? Did you just see that? Did you see it, T? B? You did see it. That was psycho. It looked like I put like a weird filter on that, like, wasn't that weird? Shut up. You saw it. Oh my God, shut up. What the hell was that? Aliens. Alien. It went out of focus, right? It was... Zzz. Oh my God. My phone didn't buzz, though. Nothing happened. I don't smile very much, Jenny, but if I did, hopefully I'd be okay. I live in Boston. Texarkana was lost. Thank you, Aussie. I just turned blue. Was it an accident? No, it was not an accident. Definitely aliens. Right when it became blurry. Yes. Oh, I didn't like that. That was weird. It buzzed? It did that on its own because nothing happened. Did I sign up for a spirit box? No. No, I don't like accidents. It had to be something. You buzzed too. Everybody buzzed. Oh my God. Do you think it's the red Candace? Do you think it's the red canoe in the bed of the milk pick? I don't know what that means. Was it not confirmed Chris was on a job site? Yes, it was. Now, could that be a fucking liar from Liarville? Sure. Sure. We don't know. So the phone buzzed. It didn't buzz for me. I just went blurry for a second. That was very strange. I just looked back, slight blur. Woo! The aliens are coming. Let's hope so. I'm rapping. We got a busted hip to boot. A man with a homemade wooden flute. I don't know where the red canoe came from. My God. I have no friggin' idea. The spirits are alerting me. Dum, dum, dum. Ooh, maybe a bug. See, Jenny? Logical thinking. It was probably a bug. Blurry blue buzzed. Ugh. Anyway. See? Welcome, PJ. That's me, pouring no teeth. That's what I'm talking about, friend. Yes. Anybody look under the canoe? What fucking canoe are you people talking about? Canoe? Where did a canoe even enter the... What? Here come the spirit readers. Y'all better take your asses somewhere. She did change her story. I'm so tired of telling this. Watch all the videos released by the news. I have. I've watched every video. Yeah, I have. She's never spoke on video. So how did she change her story? You're saying she changed what Dawn said. Tell me she changed her motherfucking story. We ain't even ever heard her talk. Changed her. The red in the back of the... Yeah, it looked like another truck. I didn't see a canoe. Now there's a canoe? Oh my God. How? How is there a canoe? The hair story changed? No, if you listen to it closely, it didn't change at all. And we have the pictures of Summer from March, when all of this occurred. Critical thinking, right? Critical thinking, guys. Look, didn't change, hasn't changed, has not changed. This is March 26th. Okay? Why did they shave that baby's head March 26th? Well, here's March 24th. Ah, I wish you could see this. Hold on. Oh. Here we go. See March 24th? See her hair? March 24th? 2 days later, they shaved her head. Sage in the chat. So, March 24th, her hair was shaved with some bangs, looking cute. She tried to do something to her own hair. And they said, okay, listen, little girl, messing with your hair. That's enough. They shaved it, which is why he says it doesn't bother her anymore, or it didn't bother her much anymore. Probably bothered her at first when it was completely shaved, right? She was probably like, okay, I didn't intend on this. She probably wanted a buzz cut like her brothers. So the mom shaved her head, her own head, Candace's, and now it's grown back. Nothing changed. Story didn't change. It's just the way they explain things is like a ball of yarn. You're like, oh, for fuck's mother's sake. It was for punishment? No, it wasn't for punishment. I liked it too. She's smiling in the pictures with a bald head. She's smiling. Of the 15,207 people currently missing in the United States, approximately 60 are male and 40 are female. Well, thank you for that statistic, Laura. The boys had their heads shaved in photos at different times. Yep. He's probably controlling. Yeah, he might be. I'm controlling. My husband's controlling too. We try to be the alpha, both of us. Bye, Mama first. Jason, I felt like you believe way too much. Lord, if I could even have half that level of optimism. No, Amy, I can't imagine what they're going through, and it kills me. It kills me. I do have a lot of faith. I do. And watching them and having the FBI guy watch them validated me. I felt much better after that. I'm like, okay, if that FBI guy came on and was like, oh, man, there are a lot of red flags here, I would have been like, bitch, reevaluate your life. Why are you doing true crime? What is wrong with you? You don't even know what you're talking about. That's what I would have said to myself. I would have been like, self, delete your channel. You don't even know what you're talking about. However, he came on and said everything that I said.
Mom, are we leaving now?
No, not yet.
When?
Very soon. You got to put on shoes. And I have to do a couple of things in the house.
I thought I had to put on socks, too.
Well, sure, yeah. Shoes and socks, they kind of go together.
Do you want me to put
And look, Onik brought your cup back. Go down there and get it and fill it with ice and water. No, Saba's cool. Whatever people do in a Saba, leave him alone.
No, I think I'm good with this water.
I don't know. I think that's been in his backyard. Might not be very good there. Yeah, Saba's good. Why? Did somebody block him accidentally?
It hasn't been on.
Sorry, Saba. Hold on. Come here, baby. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's hot water, buddy. Nobody wants hot water. Lord God. Your whole stomach is going to get sick.
I'm not.
Empty that and put ice in cold water. That's better for you. Watch out. That top is loose now. Don't drop it. I love it. Do I think you would spell anything? No, I don't think you would spell anything. Some of Mom's TikToks are concerning. Why, Sammy? He looks tired. Yeah, he got to stay up late because he didn't have camp today, so he was up very late. Body language experts know you can't tell anything without a baseline, and even then it's imprecise. The internet version of being able to solve a case because someone's eye cut left is just a fantasy. I totally agree with you, Shay. Her haircut has nothing to do with it, but people are assuming her hair was cut and she was abused. Okay, damn it. Okay. Mother suckers. You just wait right there. Wait right there, please. Ugh. Please hold. Oh my God. Where is it? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so annoying. Really? Jesus Christ. My groups. Groups. Search your groups. Summer. Oh, good Lord. Groups, I said. Is this it? No. Here it is. Here it is. I'm positive this is where I saw it today. Oh yeah, totally. Just like abused and, you know, unloved, sad, crying, depressed, upset. You know, and people say, well, you can't really tell from, you know, photos. Then why are we talking about her shaved head? You know, if you can't really tell from photos, then why are we talking about her shaved head? Why are we doing that? Because you can't tell from photos, right? So... oh my God. Oh my God, this is terrible abuse. At the fair. Jesus Lord, what are we gonna do? She took him to the fair. Almost a smile from Candace. Almost. She looks terrified of her mother there. Terrified. Terrified. Oh my God, they're at another lake. The level of abuse is absolutely horrifying. Oh my God, look at her here in her little dress. Like a princess. Because she likes princesses. Oh my God. She's at a birthday party. She has a crown on. Look at that. Fucking terror. It's awful. She took him to a fucking pumpkin patch. Can you imagine? Look at that. I think we should call the people. You know who I'm talking about. Oh my God. She let her kiss a cow. Definitely not good. You see that? She probably caught salmonella poisoning or something. And a picnic? What? Why would she be taking her to a picnic? I don't even understand. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Is her brother's head shaved? I'm sure he was being beaten half to death in this photograph right there. Because his head shaved. Oh no, he's eating pizza and smiling. They're on a trampoline. Do you know the kids could break their neck on trampolines? Did you know that? Yeah. Christmas presents? Christmas presents? Despicable. Disgusting. Another fair in a different outfit? Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. I don't think any of this is appropriate at all. I think this is out of control. Oh, you bought her a baby pool too? Wow. Oh my God. And you're letting her play with puppies. These puppies are probably infested with rabies. God. That's probably another form of abuse, allegedly. I'm not really sure. Oh, she's on the little quarter things outside. Look at that. You know, there's probably coronavirus on there. Probably. I don't really know. Oh, another picture of her and her mom. And she looks beyond scared. Beyond. Oh, wait. Is Candace's hair long here? Yeah, it is long there. That's interesting. What's this? Is this Candace with long hair? And her baby with long hair until her daughter got old enough to say, that hurts when you brush my hair and I don't like it. So I'm going to shave my head with you, kid. How about that? Oh, there they are again. But it looks like she's got a bruise on her face. I wonder how that happened. I wonder how that happened. I don't know. My son has a bruise right here in his eye. How did that happen? He ran into the soccer net down there. Yeah. Oh, look at Candace is smiling again. This is about as close as you're going to get to a smile with Candace and me too, because I don't smile. So I don't know. But there's all those photos. There are all these photos of abuse, guys. So, and she definitely didn't like princesses. She didn't, because she was a tomboy. Except she's dressed in a tutu. There's the back of her head, shaved, and you can see the bald spot. And that hairdo was so cute. She probably got the clippers and tried to shave some of it off, like children do. You can see it. Look at her hair. Look. And I know people won't like that. You know, I get it. People won't like it, but it is what it is. If you're going to look at the bad photos, look at the good photos. You know? If you're going to say they're complete friggin' disgusting monsters who do nothing but, you know, abuse their children and sit around and do drugs all day, then at least look at the rest of the photos too to get a full story on who these people are. Because you're seeing them during one of the worst times of their life. Hey, Mindy. It's just sad. It's just sad. Caleb beats himself up daily. He tripped over Caden's bike backwards 2 days ago and got a nice rug burn on his back. He cried. He's a boy's boy. Yeah, I mean, come on. No, he's gone. I don't believe that. No. Tomboys can be like princesses. Of course they can. Come on. Am I a policewoman? No. I did study criminal justice for a couple of years, but I am not a policewoman, no. Dawn is controlling Candace with drugs and alcohol. Well, my goodness. There you go. Bye-bye. Photos are telling my daughter how to start kindergarten with, 1-inch bangs because she wanted, ugh. Kids always do that. Out there, 2 16-year-old girls disappear from the same town at 3 weeks apart. And exactly, perplexed people don't know. But I can tell you one thing, Laura, before I took half of my stuff. Ask T-Bori and Bethany. They'll tell you right now. How many missing kids videos did I do? I couldn't even count. Tons. Do you think people cared? Ask me if anybody cared, Laura. Ask if anybody at all cared. Nope. Nope. That's all I used to do. Put out stories about missing people. This person's missing. This is critical, guys. This is so important. In one video, I was almost crying. Because I'm like, why are you guys only watching when there's some kind of fucking crazy drama? Nobody cared, B. Nobody cared. Straight drop. Drops in here? There's a drop. What you doing, man? I can't mod him. until the comments again. It wouldn't let me. So that's Drop. He's from the Kanika Jenkins community, one of the major content creators over there. Xavier's story is the same as Summer. Summer has an Amber and Xavier does not. I don't know. It's good to see you, Drop. My kiddo cut their hair when they were... Yeah, exactly. But people, I mean, you know, maybe a couple of people care. Most people didn't care. Now, if there was some crazy parents involved in it, people cared. They cared. But if it was just a kid gone missing, nobody even watched it. I'd have 150 views. No shares. Nothing. Some stories get the attention, some don't. It's just how it goes. Channels might look at the video of Summer dancing in the rain. I've looked at it, Shirley. It's adorable. I think that video is adorable. The biggest problem is this family, as Candace is annoyed by Dawn. Probably. Yeah, Shaydoc. My husband annoys the shit out of me too, so you can see it. And if my kid ever, God forbid, went missing, you guys would blame us. Yeah, you would. All kids cut their hair. Hey, Peggy. I want to dance in the rain too, right now. Right now. You all see about the red pickup, and the parents said they never seen a red pickup out on their road. They lied. They didn't lie. Have you seen that video, Isaiah? How old that is? Right. There's a 61-year-old man right next door. So they're looking for 98 to 2000 Tacoma. That guy could have a red Ford. He could have a Dodge. We don't know what he has. And if you're looking at Google Earth, it's probably from 2013. He might not even be there anymore. We don't know. Summer Wells. Drop. Summer Wells. Huge situation going on. There's every imaginable craziness in this story. Jem's kids cut her hair when she was asleep. Oh. The parents are always looked at through a microscope. Of course they are. But, okay, you know, if anything ever happens to me, I want you to go through and find people who actually knew me or know me and not make up stories about me. That'd be great. Because people are literally making up stories about these people, and it's disgusting. It's not okay. I don't give a fuck how you justify it. It's not okay. It just isn't. I understand. Dancing in the rain with the barrel in the background, and the barrel says for sale. So do you think that that was some kind of spooky message? That she was for sale? And that's like something that somebody read or something? Ugh. These bugs are trying to kill me. I think I'll go ask the drama community. Google Earth is not updated. No, it is not updated. We have a girl missing here. There's so many. Do you know how many kids are missing in Chicago? Do you think anybody gives a flying fuck about Chicago? Do you know how many people are shot in Chicago over a weekend? Do you think anybody cares? They're used to hearing it. They don't care. People don't care. They don't care. I mean, you know, is there a meth addict dad that we can find out about? Did the mom sleep with male prostitutes or something? Is there an active CPS case that we can dig our teeth into? No? Oh, the kid just went missing? They'll find him eventually. Who cares? Thanks, Drop. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They care about Summer because it's viral, because she's a little, and I hate to say this. The boys are getting a lot of attention in Cali, which is so good, and people should keep pushing their story. But I don't know if you guys have read about the syndrome, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed thing, that media will push certain cases. They will. They'll push certain things. You have everything in this case. 3 people named Candace, 3 people named Dawn, 2 child predators, drugs, allegedly, CPS calls, a shaved head. You've got it all in this story, so they're going to push that. They want you to see that. Why do they care about Xavier? They lived in a trailer park. He had one parent. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Thank you, Georgina. They don't care. And a partridge in a pear tree. No. No, we're conditioned to look at that kind of stuff. It's been proven. They've done studies on it. It's crazy town. Yeah, the bald head of the girl. Oh my God, please. You can make up a million stories, and that's what people love to do. Make up stories, right? So, 5 golden rings, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens. Da, 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 ding, 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 da, da, da.
Mom, we have to leave at 12 o'clock and it's 12:01.
No, we don't have to leave at 12 o'clock. Oh, good, 52%. You're good.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to leave at that time.
I can.
No, they don't. He's gone. You're right. They don't. But more likely than not, unfortunately. More likely than not. The fact that every adult has a record doesn't help either. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And believe me, when I started digging into them and I saw what the records were for, I was like, oh, Lord God. But then you dig a little bit more and you hear this story of him being 18 and her being 15 and them being in love and her getting pregnant. Not much longer. Probably, yeah, he's big, right, Drop? Probably about another 15 minutes and that's it.
When are we leaving?
About 15 minutes. So it's true. Hey, Tabitha. My daughter reminds me all the time, too. Yeah, I mean, he'll be out here reminding me to do. So, you know, once you dig into them and then you find out, like I said, he's 18, almost 19. She's 15. She gets pregnant. The parents are furious. They don't want anything to do with that. They don't want, no. No, I'd be the same. My daughter's 15. You're going to tell me that it was an 18-year-old and did a bit, and now she's pregnant? Oh, no. No. I'm reporting you. You're going to the popo. That's it. That's all. That's it.
Does Popo mean police?
Popo does mean police. Are we there yet? The trunk meme? I don't know about the trunk meme. I haven't seen that one yet. Does Popo mean police? You kicked yourself out.
Mom.
Is your coverage also like this, not just about conspiracies and raging? I desperately need more true crime, but I can't handle the many that I found. No, you know, when I actually sit down and do a video, you know, I'm very professional in the video. It's nothing like this nonsense that I'm doing. It's just, you know, a video. I don't know. Like, I've done crime cases on, like, Kendrick Johnson's case. I was very serious in that case. I think I cried a couple of times. I've done John Gacy because he was a creeper. I don't know. I've done a whole bunch of them. And no, I'm pretty serious. I try to be professional, allegedly. But now you've all seen me live and you're like, oh, she's an actress too. But no, I do keep a very open mind. John Gacy, you know, he was abused horrifically. You know, there was a lot that went into what made him who he was. Thank you, Ty. So does it mean I'm like, oh yeah, Team John Gacy? No. But in order to understand why somebody turns out the way that they do, you kind of got to look at every little grain that you can find, right? So, and then, you know, Kendrick Johnson's case, God, incredibly sad. But look what's happening with the parents there. Look at that. You know, parents are troublemakers. They just want money. No, their kid's dead. Yeah, that's what happened. Their kid's not here. And they're saying he fell into a gym mat with a circumference of 18 inches. Okay, sure he did. That's what happened. It's crazy. Ooh, battery power is very low. Uh-oh. Don't leave this porch, boy. Battery power low. You're about to lose your phone. I gotta make coffee and then gotta go anyway. So we will be wrapping this up here shortly. What is that all over my floor? I don't want to tell you what this looks like, but kind of looks like something. I don't even want to say what it looks like. Never mind, because it's not. I don't know what that is. I don't want to say what it looks like. Someone to just meet your team on the. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, I gotta. My daughter's texting me now. There she is. She's at the airport. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Autumn. Yeah. Kendrick Johnson's case is... It's awful. It is awful. You have to sing the Stephanie Harlow song now, guys. Yeah, I gotta go pick her up at the airport. She's been gone for a whole week. Member link doesn't work for you. If it's on the iPhone, it won't. It's weird. Thanks, BB. That's learn the real deal. Plus, it's like having company in this old farmhouse. Yeah, we go for drives and people can sing. Anyone in Indianapolis area who wants to help clean out my garage? I wouldn't invite anybody from the YouTubes over to help you with your garage. You know, we don't need another missing case or anything like that. Yeah, I spent too much money on coffee, so my husband bought me this coffee machine. Now I make my own. Because the habit's out of control, y'all. Never heard of Chicago Ripper Crew. I drink so much coffee, it's kind of a little bit ridiculous at this point, but you put coffee on too? I love coffee, it's really good. It makes me happy. I do like your videos. Thank you very much, Jay, I appreciate it. I know that I can be very aggressive. I get it. You know, I don't mean to be. It just gets, I don't know. I don't have patience. I don't. I don't. And, you know, then, you know, people will like, Gray Hughes is so mean because he does the same thing. And then I feel like I'm doing the same thing. And I'm like, stop it. Stop doing that because it's rude as hell. But then I do it and I'm like, I was probably mean to that person. Sorry. All right. Yuck, coffee? You are a liar. Sometimes I am. Or I don't know. I see myself as mean sometimes. Please, do you have an opinion on why the parents are talking in the past tense? Well, the FBI guy, if you rewind, the FBI guy explained that. And it's totally normal. Hey, Joyce. I talk in the past tense constantly. It's out of control, actually. Some people need to toughen up a bit. Well, you know, we do have a new whole thing, snowflake culture. Allegedly. I hate that culture. It makes me crazy. Do you need a safe space? It's a lot. We believe in the resurrection. We do believe in the resurrection. We do. Do you? Are you going to hell? I'm going to pray for you, my friend. Okay? I mean, I think people think that that's crazy, like that he believes in the resurrection. What happened with the AC? It was a damper. And Scott fixed it. Tell your husband thank you so much. Red flag in the beginning. Yeah, no, the cop said that, not the FBI person. Thanks, Carla. I thought it was the rapture, not the resurrection. Jesus is like, yes, honey. And I get it. Some people don't believe in, the whole resurrection deal. But, up in this house we do. So when he said that, I didn't find it weird at all. I was like, okay, your point. I can't date Gray himself, but you balance. Some people can't. I love Gray so much, but spirit in the sky. That dance doesn't go with Spirit in the Sky. I figured you wanted to see it. Okay, I gotta let the dogs in. What is on my floor, y'all? I don't even know what that is. It doesn't look healthy. Everybody in? Everybody in. No, don't lick it. I don't even know what that is. Why are you licking that? What is that? Is that yogurt? You know what? It's probably yogurt. Okay, well you can lick yogurt. I'm sorry. I need to yell at you, Sebby. I'm sorry, pal. I didn't know what the hell that was. Lola! Come on, you gotta come in. Mush! Come on. Mush! Lady, come on, Mush! Alright. Gemma and Lola, y'all gonna go in there because you're not going to the airport today. It's not happening. Come on! Where is she? Lord God. What time is it? Okay, we got plenty of time. Alright, I'm gonna have to go find Lola. Come on, Lola. You're going in here. I know you don't want to, but you are. Let's go. Come on. Gemma. No, Gemma. Come here, Mama. Come on, Jimmy. Alright. Gemma. Come on, Mamas. Come on, Gemma. Gemma, come on. Gemma. Girl, Mama. Come on. Come on. Come on, Gemma. Gemma, come on. Come on, sweetie. Oh, my Lord. Are you kidding? Come here, Mama. Come here. No, don't run away. Come back here. Good girl. Come here. Bye. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. Don't snort at me. Serious right now? Shit. Get in there. Go ahead now. Get back. Alright. Where's the old lady? Mush! Mush, let's go, Mama. Come on. What are you doing? Let's go. Come on, sweetie. Come on. Come get water. Come on. Good girl. Go. Yep. Go lay down. Come on. That's water. Here. Here. All right. be tired up in her. Alright, there you go. Oh, a big bug just got in. And you know that dogs. Here. Have water. Get out. Alright. And we're done. We're done. We're done now. Okay. Sorry, that's a lot of dog business. They are sweet, but they are a ton of work. You see, I have to chase them to make them go up. They won't do it. They're awful. Fresh, 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 fresh. That's not your business. Hold on, please. Very hot. Chris Marcos? You talking about Chris again? Can she not see my answer? Katie, I don't know. Read up. Katie's answer? Yes, Chris Marcos. Yes, Chris Marcos what? Katie. When you have some understanding of how all this works. Every single day I come home from school, wondering if I would be alive. My dad was a serial molester. Not one of us dared to speak out, so no one ever knew. Is that possible? Yeah. Of course it is. I didn't tell until I was, I don't know, like 15 maybe. I don't believe that his niece is lying, okay? I don't believe that. But I also believe I would like to see proof that she knows him for sure. Because we don't know that, right? We have no idea. Summer with the pink hair, me too. Katie, you are related to Chris? Is Katie related to Chris? What? No. No. No, she's not. Okay. Snugs, you can send it to chasingtruth2@gmail. The number 2. You misunderstood. Okay, okay. Is Chris Marcos your father? No. What? Oh my god, we're really getting out of control now. Somebody was in Chasing Truth's chat as Chris Marcos' kid. What? Alright. Alright, I gotta go. Gotta go pick up the kid. Hope her flight doesn't get delayed because they're talking about that now. So we don't need that to happen. Okay? But it could happen. So I love you so much. I gotta go. Bye.